Basin Motorsports for another week in the shop. So this week, just really been cleaning up. Nothing much going on, but I tell you, starting to get excited for SEMA. So I'm about 3 weeks away from SEMA. Gonna drive down Sunday, stay the night probably in Reno, Nevada, get some dinner, stay the night, get up the next day, which will be Monday, drive down to Vegas, get there mid-afternoon, kind of chill out, do some strip stuff, probably just walk around, do some simple things like that. Monday and Tuesday starts SEMA up, and I think it's going to be big. So this week in the shop, I don't really have anything major going on. I'm not building anything. I'm not tearing anything down. I'm more or less kind of getting the shop prepared. When I get back from SEMA, I can start getting going pretty heavy on the 86 and the next phase of the WideFox. So now one of the things I have been doing is getting a lot of my tools organized. So I mentioned last week that I had to get the front of the shop basically ready so that I could put the WideFox on some dollies and wheel it up to the front, which meant everything at the front of the shop now has to find a new home, whether it's somewhere else on the farm, whether it's sold, or somewhere else in the garage. I'm not sure yet. Tell you, so these parts right here are stuff that came off the WideFox. So I've got body molding, the original drum discs, or drum brakes, I guess, off the 8.8 on the back of the WideFox. You also notice some of the things else is that I'm starting to hang up a lot of tools. So I've been kind of cramming stuff at the front of the shop or on the workbench. Now, really has been limiting a lot of what I can and can't do. So the original tent for the side of the shop is that I built in these pegboard pieces here versus the whiteboard, which you see is some of the other stuff. So I've started hanging up my tools there, stuff that I can hang up that I've got in packaging. This original snake light up here, this orange piece, that is something I've had literally, I would bet 20 years. I bet it's 20 years old. It's a plug-in, so it's not battery, and by golly, it still worked. It was at the bottom of my toolbox for about 2 decades. Still there, so I'm hanging up a lot of stuff here, just trying to get it organized to where I can do a little bit of visual management of if I'm missing something, I know it's missing because it's on there. Now, I'm not going to trace it out. You've seen those big boards there where they trace out all the stuff where it goes. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to hang stuff up with some pegboard kits and that, and then the second of the shelving units that I had at the front, that is out at the barn. Now, some of the stuff I am doing up here, obviously this shelving unit is gone. This box of brake components that were off the WideFox originally, not even the WideFox, the 92, I'm going to keep those and probably reuse those maybe on the 86. I haven't decided if I'm going to switch that to complete 4-wheel discs or just go with upgrading to the 8793 V8 spindles versus the 4-cylinder stuff that's on it, or the 6-cylinder stuff, I should say. So obviously this stuff needs to go back in the car. This is some of the dash pieces. Now I am going to put in some eyelets in the ceiling, and I'm going to hang the Cobra R fascia I've got, and I'm also going to hang the secondary 80 or 7982 fascia that I have available. I want to keep those. I don't really have storage in this upper stuff here, so I think I'm just going to put it up, kind of hang it between the lights. That way it's up off the floor, it's available, and it's secure, other than it's going to get dusty. The other hood I have, the original hood from the WideFox, I am going to keep that. I'm going to hang that above my garage doors, and that will be up out of the way. My little toolbox, my original one, well, that's going to go to the barn. My wife wants it for that stuff, which means everything that's in there now I'm taking out and organizing in my drawers and my cabinets. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the 2 project cars I have sitting here. One being the wide body, the other one being the 86. Let's start with the 86. Okay, so concerning the 86, you know I have mentioned before that I'm going to vinyl wrap it, and the color is really, really close. So I think exterior-wise, really I want to make this back to what I think the glory, I guess you'd call it. So it'll keep the original body moldings. It'll be wrapped, so I will do the body work to get it back straight and then do the wrap. So I need the wrap practice for the business. Second piece, I think I want to show people that you don't have to go insane like the WideFox is with a vinyl wrap. You can do something just as a restoration piece rather than paint. So I'm going to do it that way. New taillights, body molding's the same. The interior is going to be roughly stock. I'm probably going to recover the seats, and I've got maybe a local upholstery place that will do that to help me do that. Maybe in some trade and some cash kind of deal for some help on their social media and that. Don't know, haven't asked, but it's out there. So I had mentioned before on the 86 for the drivetrain about doing the Super Coupe, the Thunderbird Super Coupe swap. Boosted V6 and that. And I gotta tell you, I have been thinking about it long and hard, and I really just am not excited about doing it. The reason being, I want this car to sell. And I think as much as it would be a challenge to do it that way, I think a new owner really is not going to be excited about a boosted V6. It's just a limited power plant, and these cars have so much more that is capable. I think I just feel like putting in a boosted V6 is going to be in the long term a waste of time. It's not going to add value to the car. If anything, it's going to be like, somebody's going to look at it and go, that's not what I want. I should have done a V8. So I think this needs a V8. I've already done the WideFox, so I can tell you, and I've done it, a V8 will fit in there. It's all direct bolt-in if you want it to be, so I don't have to go crazy spending a ton of money on fuel system and all that other stuff. It's all out there pretty easily, so I think this thing needs a V8. I just haven't decided what V8 is going to get. Obviously it's going to be a small block. It needs to be, if it's going to be more of a restoration, this needs to be more OEM. And I already did that one as OEM, where it's OEM harness, OEM V8, K member, all that kind of stuff. This will have to get a new K member. I haven't decided if I should do a manual or an automatic. It's an automatic now, but a manual goes right in, other than I need pedals and kind of all the small stuff to go with it. But it's not that bad of a swap. Then again, do I go disc brakes all the way around? Do I do just a standard 8.8 in the back? The options are unlimited. So at this point, I guess I'm looking for suggestions. What do you guys think? Definitely going to be a V8. I'm not going Coyote. I'm not going to spend the money on this knowing I'm going to turn around and flip and sell it. That's just not value added to me. It's going to be a small block V8, manual, automatic. I'm a fan of manuals on the Mustangs, but not everybody wants that. And then everything else will be just kind of restored back to where it is. Cleaned up, restored, made so somebody can get in, turn the key, and just drive the heck out of it and enjoy the heck out of it. All right, so concerning the wide body, I think the foundation is there on it. Still not exactly where I want it. Definitely need to work on the suspension. I need better springs on it to be able to push the car a little bit harder. Put the interior back in. There's just a lot of little stuff there. The wrap itself is good. I'm really enjoying the wrap. I went to a Cars and Coffee event last week, and a lot of people obviously gravitated towards the hood graphic because it gets your attention. I'll tell you, everybody there thought it was paint. They saw the hood graphic. They get that. It's a big sticker. But the rest of the car, they really thought was paint. And so, there again, the hood graphic being a wrap gets everybody's attention. So at this point, as much as everybody complains, they think the graphic sucks, it's doing its function. It's getting everybody's attention. And that's what it's made to do. So, the vinyl wrap itself is going to stay, obviously, for a couple of years. I got some ideas. I've been tinkering around with how to modify the wrap. The hood is going to stay for now, obviously, like I've said, at least till next year. And when I go to a different hood, I'll change the graphic. But I'll probably do Satin Urban Jungle on the hood, make a color change with everything else, and then I'm going to somehow modify the wrap. Got some ideas, not sharing them yet because I don't exactly know. But it'll be there. The vinyl business has been pretty good. Like I said last week, my mother-in-law wants her Avalanche wrapped, so we got samples on order for that. It's going to be something around, I think it's going to be a blue or a purple or a color change. I'm not sure. We ordered a lot of samples. I guess we got 6 samples for her. My wife wants something done for an event, a big event for her next year for her rabbitry. So I'm going to wrap her Suburban in something different, which I'll show you guys later, which you're going to think is either crazy or stupid. And that's just how it is. It seems like everybody thinks vinyl is either crazy or stupid. So, whatever. All right, so on the WideFox, talking about powertrain and that, I'll tell you, I'm still having a stumbling issue between 2200 RPM and 3000. For whatever reason, it will run up to that point, but if you cruise and let's say you're cruising down the highway, which is a lot, you come to a corner, you downshift to fourth, downshift to third, and get to that point, it stumbles. It will fight its way up to 3000, and when it gets to that point, it takes off. So it does great, but whatever that small power band window, it is struggling its butt off. Now, the previous owner to the 92 put on a mass air sensor and 30-pound injectors, which really are too big for a small block 302 like this, a stock one. It just can't use all that fuel. So I'm thinking maybe I'll go back to a 19-pound injector and a stock mass air sensor setup. Try that to see if that's going to help or not. I don't have a lot of diagnostic tools, so I don't know if it's lean or it's rich in that power band. I think it's rich, and otherwise it runs great. So I need to figure that out. Regardless of that, I will tell you, I've been watching a lot of the guys that are front runners on autocross stuff, whether it's SCCA, whether it's Optima Series and that, and I'll tell you the WideFox will be killed, absolutely killed on power. So this thing, this small block in here, while it's putting it around now, getting some time in, getting some seat in, I'll tell you, it's the 100 and whatever horsepower this thing might be producing is absolutely dismal compared to what is out there. It seems like the front runners are pushing 500 to 550 at the wheels. So in order to be somewhat competitive, if I ever truly want to go tackle this, what I need 500 to 550 at the wheels, I think, somewhere in that range. Doesn't need more than that because as a street car, this is mostly street car, but I want it to be capable. So that V8 is coming out. I'm still thinking on a 408 Windsor. I still think I want to do that. May go with fuel injection on it, maybe something simple like a Phytech, a easy, fast, easy, whatever it is, and something like that. Something simple that's a few wires that won't take much. Maybe in a Holly Sniper. I'm kind of seeing how that's going to go. The trouble is, what do I do with that V8? Now, I mentioned that car sitting right over there needs a V8. So I'm thinking stuff out of here needs to go over there and go into the 86. Now, it'll probably be somewhere next year. That may be a 2020 goal. 2019 is going to be more shop development than car development, but I think that's a good idea. I think taking this out, putting it over there, the 86 already is, even though it's throttle body injection, it's fuel injection, so I think this going into that will be a very easy swap to make it work. Just means I'd have to go get pedals for over there and out, all that stuff, but I think that's the way I want to go. Maybe a 408 and the V8 over there. Now, otherwise on the wide body, I'm pretty happy with everything else. The interior is going to stay stock. I would like to convert everything from chrome to black. Just not a big fan of chrome on this one. LED lighting everywhere. I think that is now kind of like the standard it needs to be. So LED headlights, tail lights, turn signals, all that. That is going to be converted over, so that'll be a project this winter. And then just get the interior back in. Stock pieces, fresh carpet, fresh floor mats, everything there. Still want to do carbon fiber mirrors, like true carbon fiber mirrors. So I may do that next year, build molds and produce some of those just for fun and just odds and ends. I mean, I've been ecstatic about the wide body. It is so much fun to drive. It gets some serious looks. Almost caused an accident last week at the Cars and Coffee when I was leaving. Had a guy in a truck that was lifted, just kept going forward and back. So he'd race forward to see the purple, he'd go behind to see the green. He was talking to whoever was in the passenger seat, not paying attention, and almost, coming to a stoplight, almost rear-ended a car, not paying attention because he was so fixated on the wrap and the graphic. Great stuff, but man, I sure don't want to have any accidents next to me just because people don't know what it is. All right, so the last thing I want to talk about this week is the channel overall. When I first started YouTube 9 years ago, it was really just about sharing information and kind of doing tutorials and that kind of stuff. The last couple of years, I have really wanted to make this more. So when I did the wide body and did the vinyl wrap, all that stuff, it really hadn't been documented how to do that stuff. And again, it's tutorial, but it's also kind of sharing kind of the story of it. And really, probably the last 6 months, you've noticed that I really have tried to do this as a business. I will say businesses do not run on hopes and dreams, and if they do, they don't really run that very long. The thing I need, and I hate saying this, the thing I need to do is I need to make more money. Money buys tools, money buys parts, and unfortunately for YouTube, the only way or a major way to do that is through views and subscribers. I will say thank you to guys that are here now that have either joined up in the last 2 years to see the wide body and stuff. But unfortunately, the channel does not generate anything close to what I want or what I need to really get to where I need. So as far as the channel, what I'm not saying is that I'm giving up. I'm not quitting. Don't worry about anything like that. The channel is going to start being, I think, less tutorial. It's going to be more documenting the journey. So if you guys are here for tutorials on that, I'll definitely keep going with those. Obviously going to go a different direction a little bit because I'm going to start doing vinyl. Wide body's done. The 86 will be done. I've got my mother-in-law's Chevy Avalanche that will be done. We'll see if anybody else starts getting into that. I had some interest or some conversations. The last 2 times the car's been out, somebody has asked about it. Obviously, at the Cars and Coffee, I think I offended some people, and I'm sorry if I did. I didn't mean to offend you. Some guys asked if I would teach them how to vinyl wrap, and I won't do that because I've given you tutorials on YouTube for that reason, and I'll tell you, I'm not going to give away my tips and secrets and all that in person. That's not going to be that's not how you build a business. You don't give away your stuff for free in person. I can do it over the line and all that kind of stuff because it has other benefits. So the unfortunate part of everything is that I thought, I hoped, I dreamed, whatever you want to call it, that I had kind of that Field of Dreams mentality. If I built a channel, people would come. And some people have, but I'll tell you, it's not where I want it to be. I thought the wide body, I thought the wrap being kind of undocumented in this manner would have done more, and it hasn't yet. And I stress that yet. SEMA is going to be a big deal for me, and I've said it kind of the last couple of times. I'm getting excited for it. I'm doing a lot of social media training, industry training, if you will. Anything to do with social influencers, social media, anything at SEMA that I can get in on, I have registered. So there's like 6 hour-long presentations. And honestly, I want to, I hate the term hack, but I want to hack the system to know what companies are looking for so that I can become what they're looking for. I've been thankful with sponsors and supporters so far that have either, given me discounts on products to be able to build the car that I just really have been dying to build in the wide body. Some have donated parts so that I would make them videos, and I'm thankful for that. But the unfortunate part of it all is that just making videos is not enough to push this channel forward. I've got to have capital, and the channel's not going to do that on its own. I've got to do distribution more. I've got to do a lot of other things. So I may jump into Facebook ads. I may jump into Instagram ads come next year just to get the market out there locally for me to try and get the wrap business, because it is wide open where I am. And I don't know really where it's going to be other than I'm going to keep building the wide body. I love building the wide body. I love working on cars in general. And I think I'm just going to document it, but I'm not anymore going to push. I don't know. I'm not giving up, so don't worry about that. But rambling a little bit, and I'm going to stop. So really, that's kind of it this week. Been just having a lot of conversation, internal dialogue conversations about what I want to do in the future. I know that what I'm doing now is not sufficient for where I want to be, so I've got to find some different ways to get there. So you'll see a lot of that come up. If you guys have suggestions, I'm always willing to listen. I'm keeping an eye on the bigger channels, what some of the other guys in the industry are doing. Obviously, I think just focusing on Mustangs is not going to get me there because there are too many channels out there that do it. There are too many channels out there that are conglomerates that just take everybody's stuff and make it out there, and I just can't compete with that. I won't. So that's it, guys. Done rambling for today. You can see behind me that I've got a huge mess I've got to clean up. I've got parts everywhere to get this shop ready. So 3 weeks from now, SEMA will come up. I'll keep you updated on kind of how I'm getting prepped for that. But at this time, I'm going to let you go. See you next week. And I'll probably doing just the Saturday uploads for the next couple weeks until SEMA week. And then I will probably film a ton of stuff that week. And who knows? We'll see where that comes up. But I think that's my next big shot of getting this channel where I want it to be, to where it's a lot more self-sustaining than it is now. So that's it. See you next time.